What is Kriya Yoga? To practice tapas, svadhyaya, and Ishvar Pranidhan comes under Kriya Yoga. What are other yogas, if any? There are different yogas that men have performed in the past and some persons still perform. The list does not include the yoga for Jyotish, as they are different from the yogas that we are talking about. Jap Yoga, Vag Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Prem Yoga, Pashupat Yoga, Samadhi Yoga, Sharanagati Yoga, Shakti Yoga, Bira Yoga, Brigu Yoga, Asparsha Yoga, Purna Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Mrityunjay Yoga, Tarak Yoga, Shabda Yoga, Riju Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Shiv Yoga, Siddhi Yoga. What are Pancha Kleshas? Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesh, and Abhinevesh are Pancha Kleshas. What are Sapta Sadhana? The Sapta Sadhans, 7 means are Shuddha, Dridata, Stairya, Dairya, Laghav, Pratyaksh, and Nirliptata. What are obstacles in yoga? There are many obstacles in the way of yoga. The following chart presents them. Vyadi, Alasya, Ayastirtha, irregular breathing, lack of celibacy, desires. Syatyan, Vishya Trishna, Dukkha, irregular food habit, wrong perception, ego. Sanshaya, Bhranti, mental disorder, junk food, insult to preceptor, short gain as all. Pramad, Sandeha, restlessness, sleeplessness, atheism, to be a preceptor. What are Shatkarma? How are they performed? Shatkarma are irregular. Shatkarma are different cleansing activities to purify the body and mind, and to prepare it for Yoga Kriya. It includes Dhoti, Vasti, Neti, Noli, Kapalbhati, Tratak, Gajjakarni, Nyoli, Dokani, Bagi, and Shankafala are also parts of Shatkarma. Some yogis prefer one to another, and hence the activities and its one list differs from another. Dhoti, take a 4-inch wide and 22 feet long clean and wet cloth. Drink water and then slowly swallow 18 feet of that cloth. Then pull it out slowly. It clears the stomach and takes kapha and pitta out. Such cleansing is called dhoti. Some people use green and well-cleaned branch of a bamboo coin. Following the lead, the scientists use a rubber pipe for cleansing purposes. Vasti. Vasti is a red organ near the Muladhara chakra. It is cleaned in 2 ways, through air and through water. Through Noli Karma, Apanavayu is inhaled well, and in Mayurasan it is exhaled. Neti. Neti can be performed only after brushing the teeth. About half a liter of water is taken through one nostril after closing the other one. Then that water is thrown out through the other nostril. After it, a feet of wet cotton, prepared with wax as a thread, should be taken in through one nose and pulled out. It is called Garshan Neti. Noli. Noli is known by many names. Noli, Nolika, Nala Kriya, Nyoli. After bowing the shoulders, moving the abdomen fast from right to left is known as Noli. Gajakarani is a variation of Noli in which a lot of water is taken in and with the help of fingers vomited out deliberately. It is repeated till clean water does not come out. Kapalbhati. To perform inhaling and exhaling Purak and Rechak pranayam as Lohar ki bati, like the furnace of an ironsmith, is called Kapalbhati. Trataka. One should look at a designated thing with concentrated eyes till the tears start rolling down. It is known as Trataka. What are 8 Mahasiddhis? Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva, and Yatra Kamavyasayitva. Some people add Garima to it and make it Navasiddhis. 9 Siddhis. How can one get salvation and be free? Salvation is the result of purity, virtue, and power of our deeds. All the efforts of a person combined together must give the following qualities discussed in the Mahabharata, chapter 19, verses 2 to 4. Only then he or she can get salvation or freedom from the endless cycle of birth and rebirth. The virtuous man or woman must become friend to all, endure everything and sustain through all calamities, have control over mind and senses, be fearless and without anger, self-restrained and self-dependent. Only then he or she can think of freedom, or such men and women are free without a shred of doubt. That man or woman who follows the scriptures, social customs and ethics, religious rites, rituals and tenets, and behaves well with all and treats others as a projection of the self, has no lust for fame or reward, is not conceited and has no ego problem, can think of freedom, or such men and women are free without a shred of doubt. That man or woman who is detached and has no deep involvement in life and death, in pleasure or pain, in loss or gain, in happiness and sadness, can think of freedom, or such men and women are free without a shred of doubt. In a nutshell, it is the power, result, and effect of wholesome deeds. It can be achieved by following the dictates of the scriptures. The essence of all the effort, activities, and deeds that are performed is that a person is able to live a complete life, a meaningful one, and his life is not proved to be wasted. Moksha, salvation. Prakriti, nature. Is it a fact that apes are our forefathers? No, not at all. Nature is full of wonders. Nature never creates exact duplicates. Factories are different. There is no comparison between them. There are as many as 4 varieties among apes: the huge gorillas, big chimpanzees, the shaggy red orangutan, and the long-armed gibbons. They have not only separate names given by human beings, they are quite different too. The apes have certain similarities with human beings in skeletons. Same number of teeth, similar brain in shape and arrangement, similar faculties with different speech and blood nearer to human blood. Because of these similarities, the scientists claimed and still claim and declared that apes are the forefathers of man. Human structure, systems, cell formation, and nervous system are far complicated and definitely 1,000 times more complex than that of the apes. Moreover, nature creates different varieties. Nature does not change one variety into another. Each living species is created separately and has separate entities. Each species has different life cycle. Caterpillars and tadpoles are metamorphosed into butterflies and frogs, but it is their life cycle. Butterflies have only that way to be created and recreated. One animal or living being has not changed into another on its own. No, that is not the system of God and process of nature. All species have been created separately. So apes are not the forefathers of human beings. Not a single species is the forefather of another species. Is it creation or evolution? It is definitely creation. We would have all the answers had it been evolution. In creation, there is the need for a lot of planning. A system is to be thought out, while infinite number of systems work in the universe, and it is creation because all those systems are a part of greater systems. In evolution, each system would have been separate. It is creation because of interlink and interdependence. There are different systems in our body, and all the systems are one system. Moreover, modern science falsely claims that life started only in the sea. It is never possible because of the heavy currents and ceaseless movements on the surface of the sea. The current of the sea won't allow the monocellular or unicellular to stay at a place even for a moment. Even other water animals were created. Science says another strange thing, that fish-like creatures began to come out of the oceans onto the land. They used their fins to move around for millions of years, then certain changes took place and their fins became legs. It is not palatable. Science adds that these creatures started walking and became amphibians, then evolved into reptiles. The reptiles changed into birds, and some of the species of reptiles became warm-blooded and developed into mammals. These things are not possible, hence it can only be creation. Nature and natural processes are always at work, and it works on a pattern. During the last about 15,000 years, there has not been evolution like growth anywhere. A species reproduces its own kind and not another kind. Natural forces have not and will not cease to exist or function. It has been at work and works in its designated way, and not the way imagined or calculated by man. The process of any evolution has not been noted and mentioned during the known history of existence. What is the relation between nature and God? God and nature are the same. Both are eternal. They are called Purusha and Prakriti. It is like our body and soul. In the same way, they are accepted as two entities. In the Gita, chapter 13, verse 19, Sri Krishna has declared, "Know that both Purusha and Prakriti are eternal. Prakritim Purusham Cheva Adidyanadi Upavapi." By saying so, he guides us to know the two. He further tells in chapter 13, verse 23, what is the result of knowing the two. He who knows this Purusha as qualityless and Prakriti as full of qualities. Yayevam vitti Purusham Prakritim cha gunaisa. Because one is qualityless and the other full of qualities, so the two forms of worshipping emerged. Why are we in bondage then? Man does not give importance and regard to this fact of Purusha and Prakriti, and that the soul is different from the body. Man thinks that the fulfillment of the physical needs will satisfy the soul, while the nature and needs of both the body and the soul are different. That is the reason man is in bondage. One should never identify oneself with the body. How can we get salvation? By living with nature, balancing natural elements, growing, worshipping, growing from inside, doing duties well, living an ethical life, surrendering the self and ego, becoming detached and serving others, we can get salvation. Why does nature intervene? When one has sucked enough energy from the earth, nature intervenes and puts them to sleep, as they are not strong or active enough to serve her secret purpose. Nature is just, nature is kind, and nature is wise. She knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. She is always right. If the happenings or the phenomena does not suit an individual or a crop or a community, we blame her to be unkind. We forget our deeds, misdeeds, and the cosmic purpose that nature has to serve and obey the cosmic law of incessant change. She follows it meticulously. She follows it meticulously well, as she is always active and never sleeps. We may have our fallacy that nature is asleep, but no, nature is always awake, always creating and destroying, for recreating, and of course for sustenance, not only of man, but of all animate and inanimate beings. Nature intervenes, gives rewards and punishments, or we think it to be reward or punishment in accordance with our needs, fulfillment, and selfishness. It is our mistake that we don't realize our mistakes and foolishly keep on repeating the mistakes, both simple and gross. Nature has to intervene, otherwise man may finish every drop of life and live and life-giving elements, all water, gas, minerals, vitamins, the very sap of the earth. Hence man should never forget creative cooperation. The Atharva Veda Samhita, Chapter 7, Book 7, Chapter 52, Verse 2, prays, may we unite in our minds, unite in our purposes, and not fight against the divine spirit within us. Let not the battle cry arise amidst the slain, nor the arrows of the war god fall with the break of day. How does nature teach? Only this much can be said, that nature teaches all and everything that is necessary for survival and sustenance, for procreation and utilization of different things. Nature's way of teaching is very strong and powerful, and it never fails. It is always effective. Human ways of teaching are very weak and often ineffective. Nature has a very secretive and mysterious way of teaching. Whatever knowledge human beings possess has come from nature, including the knowledge of our body and the organs. What should man do? Man hardly realizes the mistakes that he or she commits today. Man realizes late and accepts. Yet man commits different mistakes every day. To realize tomorrow that yesterday was a mistake. What he is doing now is right in his eyes and mind. There is a mistake in our perception. We try to fit and fix life, varied and infinite life, in an aphorism, a definition, or in a dictum. To realize the mistake before committing it is wisdom, and after committing it, the biggest mistake that affects many for many decades to come. We don't know what is actually needed for survival. Different people at different places have different ideas, and all such ideas are mistakes. Man promises not to repeat the mistakes, but he commits fresh mistakes, new ones in his or her eyes. So man is losing fast all that is needed for life and survival. Whatever wisdom man has collected and spread during the last 300 to 400 years has resulted in acute and growing pain and suffering, physical and mental ill health, unhappiness, because man is far away from nature and natural living. Man must depend on nature for independence and happiness. Man must keep the five gross or natural elements clean and pure, because health, happiness, sustenance, and birth depend on them. Only then man can come out of the mess that has been artificially created for luxury and material gain. In place of reducing natural wealth to naught, in place of searching another planet to shift to, we should undo everything that has created this situation and brought life on the brink of extinction. Man should not direct his or her actions towards selfish ends, but towards common good for all the life forms on earth. Aham, ego. That's all for today, guys. Peace be upon you.